Hello ladies and gents and everything between outside of it, I'm Sophia and welcome back to a new video. As you can maybe hear, I was quite sick for a good while. And I filmed this video before with just my normal books and everything. And it took, I had 1.5 hours of footage. And then I started editing it and it would have been like a 45-minute video. And I don't think anyone would watch that, to be really honest. And then while I was procrastinating, I saw Sarah Crowley's tier ranking video of her books that she read in 2022, and then I was like, that is such a smart idea, because it would also take me a lot less time filming, even though I've already postponed this video one day, which means that currently it's 11:30 p.m, hence the ring lighting, and I want to upload this tomorrow around 3, so that's fun. I think we're just gonna rank them, you know. I'll do a little screen recording, and as you can see, I'm in this new chair I got it for Christmas, and I have literally not gotten out of it. I changed my entire room around for this chair, by the way, so it's a whole new setup. So if you watch my videos regularly and you know you're gonna see new vlogs, you're gonna see that's different. But here we have my tier ranking list. I've never done this before. This is like my first time doing this, but I thought it would just be fun and it would be a little experiment that we do together. So I have 5 tiers, and I try to be a little creative. I'm not a super creative being, but the top one is on my knees, because the amount of times where I've just like said, when I'm like talking to, I don't know, my boyfriend about like a book, I'm like, I'm on my knees for this book just because it's so good, and I worship it basically. Second one is memorable. I really didn't know what to call that tier, because I was like, I don't know, but like I love when books are memorable, like I will know that book. Does that make sense? And then I had it's like, yeah, the book was good, like I would recommend it, but it was not like crazy or anything. And it's like a 3-star type of thing. And then, oh, that was disappointing. It's just, yeah, like for example, it was a really overhyped book, and then I was like, that was really disappointing to read. I did not think it was gonna be like that. And last one is like mouth vomit. You know when you get that little vomit in your mouth? Yeah, that's what I got from those books. And then below here I have all the books that I have read. I read 64 books this year. I started the year off with a 10-book reading goal, literally 10 books. Then that turned into 15, and that turned into 30, then 50, and then I think in August I have 50, and then I changed it to 65, and I hit 64. So for now, my goal for 2023 is 75, because that's like 11 more than I read now, but secretly it's 100. I'm just gonna try to actually make it achievable, and not that I actually jump off my roof. They're not in order of the books that I've read, but I kind of know out of my head, so we could try that. I can try that, but I'll probably give up after like 10 minutes. I do remember that first book that I read this year was Ash, and that was literally horrible. I did not like that. It's a Cinderella retelling, but the main character, so Cinderella, her name is Ash in the book. She likes girls, and she finds that out throughout the book and stuff, and it's like, my mom told me that, and that's why she bought me it. I didn't like it, it was not my thing, and I was really disappointed. It was just weird, and I didn't understand a lot of it, and I'm just gonna do that. Like, it was disappointing, because I thought it might actually be good. Then the next book that I read was As Good as Dead, and this is memorable. This is very memorable. So the first 2 books in the series, I would have put on my knees, because I am on my knees for those books. They're so good, I give them both 5 stars, but I give this one 4 stars. Just like the first half of the book was like, you know, like drama and stuff, and then kind of in the middle of the book was like the main thing, and after that was just like resolution and fixing the problem that happened, and it was just a bit too much. Like, oh, the book was like almost 500 pages, I think, so like a good 250, 225 was just like resolution, and I want drama. I do not want problems to be solved. From now on, I'm just gonna kind of just do whatever. I am kind of giving these new ratings in my head, because a lot of books I don't agree with the rating that I gave them then. People are gonna hate me for this. This is the Narnia book, the first one. Slight mouth vomit. I had to read this for my school book club, and I hated it because I thought it was really boring. I watched the movie, I thought it was so good, but in the book, I don't know. It was just weird, and it was so sexist, and there was a lot of like Christianity and a lot of symbols for it, and I just didn't like that, and it just made me really uncomfortable. It's not very high at the moment. Also, my laptop is like always lagging. Shadow Me, I read it and I didn't like the writing style that much. It was just, I felt it was a bit unrealistic for, I don't know how old Julia is in the first book, but I just didn't find it that realistic. And I know it's a fantasy book. And I don't know, I was a bit confused on like the world building at first, and I know that like the love interest in the first book is not the love interest in the rest of the books. The only reason why I would continue the series is for Aaron Warner. That, I don't know, now I'm kind of intrigued to continue, but please let me know in the comments if I should. I know everyone's going to say yeah, but maybe I'll just get the second book and then I'll see from there on. Because if I really don't like that book either, then I'm obviously not going to continue, but I feel like I should maybe give it a second chance. Then the next book that I read, Looking for Alaska, On My Knees. That was such a good book. I watched the series. I have a video on it where I read the book and then watch the series, and I cried. I cried so hard. I don't think I actually cried in the video, but like I could not finish the series because I knew what was gonna happen, and I just could not bear it to experience that again. The show is also really good. It's a really good adaptation, and I don't know, it just has this thing about it that just weakens me. It's like a young adult literary fiction, I think. And then we have Eeny Meeny, On My Knees. It's a thriller, murder mystery, a detective inspector type of thing. And I was on my knees for this book. This is the first book in the series. Let's continue. So, Eeny Meeny, I really liked it. Basically, in the Helen Grace series, it's always such a crazy concept. Like in this one, it was, it's always like pairs being kidnapped and they get put into like a random place. There's no windows, no light, nothing, no food, no bathroom, nothing. It's just the two of them and a gun, and it's basically kill or get killed. Moving on, then we had Ugly Love. I'm just gonna put that because the thing is, obviously there's a lot of controversy about Colleen Hoover at the moment, but I liked a lot of her books. Definitely liked it more in the moment than I do now when I think about a lot of the things in the book, and if I look back on it, that might be a bit weird, that was a bit off, but when I was reading it, I was thoroughly enjoying it. Like, it was my first Colleen Hoover book, and I like Miles a lot. I know it was like a weird thing going on, it was a bit toxic, but I enjoyed it. It was definitely up my alley. There's a few things where I'm like, oh, that was a bit weird. I've just put on Coraline is obviously going in memorable because it is a very memorable book. I read it because I love the movie. I loved it as a child, and I got it gifted for Christmas, so I read it, and it was a really short, cute little book, and it has illustration as well, and if you like the movie, I would definitely recommend reading it. Pop Goes the Weasel, On My Knees again. I'm literally on my knees for this entire like series so far. It's so good. Yeah, this was the second book, and I definitely recommend, because this one was like a Jack the Ripper opposite thingy, where basically a prostitute was killing her customers, her clients. Nick and Charlie, it was memorable. It was cute. I liked it. It was nothing crazy, and I had already seen all the spoilers from all the TikTok sounds and stuff, but it's just like Nick and Charlie in university from the Heartstopper series, and they're like about to go to university. It's like the whole like what's gonna happen when we go to uni issue, which is a very scary issue. Then we had 13 Minutes. On My Knees. It's about like this girl that dies for like 13 minutes. She's not sure. Like she knows that her friends love her and she loves her friends, but she doesn't know if she can trust them like 100%. And it's genuinely, I don't know, it's so crazy. And the whole ending and just the way it was delivered, it was just, I ate it up. Truly devious. Memorable. I did like it a lot, don't get me wrong, but it's just not On My Knees. I think probably the last book will be, because then it, like the whole thing gets revealed, because basically in the Truly Devious series you have to read the whole trilogy in order to find out what happened. Then it ends with Us. This is a tricky one. Okay, it was not as bad as Ash, but for all the hype that it had, for all the things, I don't know, maybe it was because I went into it with so many spoilers and knowing that kind of ruined it for me. For me, it was just not that crazy. It was, I mean, obviously it was crazy, don't get me wrong. I saw everything coming basically, and I don't know, the Evelyn letters really ruined it for me. Why did nobody warn me about that, please? The hating game. I'm just gonna put that because the thing is, I hated the movie, by the way. Disgusting, don't recommend. But the book, it was easy. I liked it. I flipped through it. It was nothing crazy. It was just an average romance. I still liked it. There was nothing wrong with it. So that's why it's there. It's just People are gonna kill me again. This is gonna go and that's disappointing. Because I guessed the ending. And this was when everyone was posting on Book Talk. Oh my god. Post your reaction to this page when this gets revealed. I guessed it and I was disappointed. But that was my fault because I did read the synopsis while I was in the middle of the book, which is like a stupid thing to do. It shouldn't be that obvious from the synopsis in my head. I still liked the characters, but it was still I was still disappointed. My laptop was not made for this. We're just drink some water. I'm aware this is not water. Let's go again, love. Why do I have to have so many issues? Why can't I just not film a video without issues? Oh my god, my camera's about to die. Fuck me in the bum. No. Are you kidding me? It doesn't reach. Let's continue. Love Me Not is obviously gonna go on my knees again. This is the first book I read of the Helen Grey series. It's the 7th book. Because basically, I found out that you could kind of read it like standalones, but they obviously make more sense if you read it as a whole. But I just kind of said fuck it and just started with that one, and then I realized how much I loved it, and then I just continued. Then the Kiss Quotient, which took me light years to be able to pronounce that, so be proud of me. I really enjoyed it. It's about this woman on the spectrum, on the neurodivergent spectrum, on the autism spectrum, has problems with sex. She feels like she's not good at it, and then she hires this escort to teach her how to have sex, basically. I thought the representation was pretty good. It was actually accurate. The Vanishing Stair, Truly Devious 2, is just gonna be memorable as well, because I still really liked it. I'm still in love with the characters. I really like the main character. That's really odd to say for that one. 2K Keep a Secret. This was a 4 stars. Until I read the last line, and then I switched to 5 stars, so on my knees. Yeah, no, that was a bomb. I don't know, it was just, I flew through it. It was good. Normal People, on my knees as well. I'm very happy with the books I read. I just fell in love, it's a miscommunication trope, and I do think I would normally hate that, but I actually enjoyed it a lot. Sometimes I was just so frustrated, please just together. In December, I got into my smut phase, and how embarrassing this is to say, I was sick for majority of December, and I was too dead to actually to read anything that makes me use more than 2 brain cells, and simple smut novellas don't make me use brain cells, and I enjoyed it. And The Husband Sitter was weird. I just didn't like it. This is gonna go a slight mouth vomit. It was just weird. Evidence. Or fancy now. Evidence of the Affair. I'm just gonna I liked it. It was there. It's basically this short story about the two people of the affair, but not the 2 people that are having the affair, but the husband of the wife that's having an affair, and then the wife of the husband that's having an affair, and they meet. He sends her a letter oh, I think your husband is cheating with my wife. I think they're having an affair. Blah 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 blah. And then the whole book is in letters. I read this I listened to this with an audiobook. Then Verity. I am gonna put that in It was weird. I did not like the ending because it was kind of open-ended. It was kind of up to you to decide who to believe. And it was this thriller romance apparently, but it was a bit too romancy for me. It was just creepy. It was creepy romance. Then I read The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. That's just gonna go memorable. It was really sweet and I really liked it, but I only really read it because my mom told me to read it. It's not something that I would have picked up otherwise, but it's still really, really cute. And it is really, really memorable. And my laptop is literally overheating again. The Deal. Oh my god, I finished this on the plane to Greece. And I actually liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. I've been wanting to continue the off-campus series, which is on Kindle. But it's only the first one that's on Kindle Unlimited as far as I know. I'm just gonna put it in because I don't think it was memorable. I don't think it's I did really like it. I liked it more than I thought I would. I thought I wouldn't like the college sport romance, but I weirdly did. Then A Perfect Wife. I'm gonna go, and that's disappointing. The thing is, I was confused at the start of the book, then the middle of the book I liked, but then the ending was confused again. And I was just so sick of it. Like, oh my god, like, it didn't give me a right answer. I looked up on the internet, and the internet wasn't helping either. It was still interesting, but like, I was still so confused. Oh my god, guys, the Mindfuck series. On my knees for this entire series. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Speechless. I was speechless when I read this. I sped through this series of Grease. Was it awkward to read that next to my parents? Yes, but oh my god, it's basically this FBI agent and the serial killer, and they fall in love, but the FBI agent doesn't know that she's a serial killer, but the serial killer knows that he's an FBI agent working on her case. The Silent Patient, also on my knees. The twist, the way the twist was delivered, hello. How do you come up with that? Beach read, I'm just gonna put it in I liked it. It was my first Emily Henry book, but it was not like crazy memorable or anything. I don't know, like obviously I remember it, but it's not like a book I think about a lot, if that makes sense. The Roommate. I'm very debating between this being on my knees and memorable. I think it's gonna be memorable, but I really like this. It's actually such a cute story. It's basically about this girl came out of this relationship and she moves in with this other guy, is a porn star, and she's never been pleasured properly before. You can see what that's going. The Cousins. This is gonna go in. This is disappointing. I'd read so many of the author's books by then, and I was just expecting something good, and it wasn't. It was disappointing. I just didn't like it. I don't know, it was just not it. And it was a weird thing where eventually it was like a half incest, but it wasn't. But like, you had to think, is this incest? And that was too weird. Yeah, and the first half of the book literally put me to sleep. It was so slow. In the beginning I was really confused with the characters, and half the time I didn't even know what was going on. Too late. I'm gonna put this in slight mouth vomit. I wouldn't give it a 1 star, but it was just like, it was just full of sexual assault basically, and assault and manipulation, and it was just dark and traumatizing. Like when I read it I felt sick, like literal mouth vomit. I don't know, it was just not that great, and I was just upset. Thursday Murder Club, this was disappointing. I had a whole issue with following whose point of view we're looking from now, and then when they revealed who it was, because it's elderly people and in an elderly home solving a murder. When they revealed this is the killer and this is who's been killed, I was like, babe, I don't know who that is. That's how confused I was. I did get the second book because I want to give it another chance, because apparently a few other people out this, but they say that it gets a lot better throughout the other books, and then you kind of know who's who. The Midnight Library, and I'm gonna put this in memorable because it was memorable. I liked the story. I liked the message of the story. I would definitely check the trigger warnings, but it was just sweet. I liked it. Definitely got me thinking, and it kind of makes you look at life differently, at all the options that you have. And then we had The Love Hypothesis. This was the first romance book I ever read, and I was on my knees for this book. Am I still on my knees for this book? I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think I always will. There's just something about Ellie Hazelwood's writing that just gets me on my knees. And while we're at it, let's put Love of the Braid out there as well. I was just both on my knees for them. I get through them so quickly. It's literally every time this one releases a new book, I need it. It's just, it does something to me. It's comforting. It's like a hug. The Spanish Love Deception, I'm gonna put this in because the thing is, I liked it, but it was a slow burn, and I'm not gonna lie, I think it put me kind of in a bit of a slump because it took me so long to read it, and it made me realize I'm not in love with slow burns. My laptop's about to die, great, but I already have 2 things plugged in. I don't know what I'm gonna do, love. We're gonna have to wrap this up. Oh, Stepstalker, vomiting all over the place. Okay, so basically I knew from the title that this was gonna be weird, but we get to it later. I read this book called Sabotage, and that was also a step brother sister. I did not know until I got into it, and I weirdly liked it. I don't know, it was weirdly sweet. And I saw this, and it was from the same author as The Hospice Sitter, and I kept seeing them like, oh my god, they're so good, you should read them. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it another chance, and I thought this sounded funny, so I gave it another chance, and I was horrified. They have a weird age gap. He's weirdly possessive, but not in a good way. Then we have Heartstopper. All 4 are on the top, on my knees. I love them. They're all 5 stars. Self-explanatory. It's just so cute. Oh, Boys Don't Cry. On my knees. I finished this right before we went to dinner in Greece, and I cried. And I was like, Mom, wait, we can't go. I need to finish this. I cried. It was horrible. Yeah, it reminds me of him. First Colleen book that's gonna go in memorable. See, the principle of the story is cute. The only weird thing is that he's the best friend of her husband. And that is the only thing that doesn't sit right with me. But the rest was really cute. And in the moment I give it 5 stars. Terms and conditions. On my knees for this book. I read the fine print and was obsessed with it. It was the same type of thing as The Love Hypothesis. I couldn't put it down. Something captivated me. So I read the fine print and I was obsessed. And then I read Terms and Conditions and I was obsessed even more. I don't know, that one just did things to me. Okay, moving on, we have The Therapist. And oh my god, this is still my favorite book. I know you're not supposed to say that your favorite book. And I don't really. But some people that, because I feel like people that don't read books don't understand that you cannot have one favorite book. And they're like, oh my god, yeah, you must have one. No. I do not have one favorite book. But that's the one I've chosen to when people ask me what's my favorite book. It was just like family drama, new house, England. One of the girls, I read this over summer. And my mom read it as well. And we were both just obsessed with it. Like, it was genuinely so good. Yeah, we both just completely loved it. It's like these girls that go on a hen weekend and they just have fun. And there's like lies. It's like character driven, but it's really, really good. When They Find Her was also, I'm gonna put that in memorable. I would have put it on my knees when I first read it. Now I think I'm just gonna put it in memorable because I don't think about it as much as all the other ones. But it is definitely memorable. It's still really, really good. It's like missing child, crazy mum. Rock, paper, killers, again. Mouth vomit. Disgusting. I hate it. Malibu Rising. I'm gonna put it in memorable. I actually really, really liked it. If anyone's ever watched the show Dynasty, it felt like an episode of that. It's just family drama. It felt like watching like one of those TV shows of rich people that have so much drama, but like not like the Kardashians, but like, you know what, I don't know if you know what I mean, but it felt a bit like that, but it was really, really good. It starts with us. It was disappointing. I feel like for all the hype that it had, I feel like everyone was a bit disappointed. I liked it. I got through it quickly. I was still disappointed. I don't think it was a necessary book. I don't think it was memorable. Sabotage is the one with the, I'm actually going to put that in memorable. And don't hate me for a smart book. Don't hate me for putting a smart book so high. It was something weird about it. I just loved it. And I've actually been thinking about it a lot. Because even though it was this really weird dynamic and it was a bit cringe sometimes, thoroughly enjoyed it. And it just, I don't know, it was almost cute. Just a love. I'm gonna put that on, if it lets me, on All My Knees. I really, really liked it. I have already bought the rest of the series. I should really continue that like ASAP. I have a lot of series I need to continue. I should probably finish series before I continue buying new books. The Summer Item Pretty, that's I've only read the first book. It's a bit of a theme I have here, but I'm gonna put that in. I liked it. It was cute. I liked the show. Do I think about it? No, I don't. I only thought about it recently because I rewatched the To All the Boys I Loved Before. Then we have Done Right and Taught Right. Those are short, spicy novella, they're called. Because it's actually so cute, because the first one is about like this girl and this guy, and she's like, oh, I hate that men don't know how to please women, and he's like, I don't think I know how to please a woman, I'm really insecure now. And then they just kind of communicate and have this great chemistry. Like, it's genuinely cute that they have so much. I guess it is a spicy novella, it's just a smart novella, but just because they have so much chemistry, it's just cute rather than just... So I'm actually going to put that in memorable. And then Icebreaker, I liked it a lot. It just took a bit too long. It was quite a long book. I'm debating between and memorable. I did really like it. I think I gave it like 4 stars, but like a bit too long for my liking. Taught Right is the second part. I'm gonna just put that in because I did not like this one as much because their chemistry didn't hit the same as the other two, but I did still really, really like it. Then the only 2 I've left is Death of a Gossip and Death of an Outsider. They're both Hamish Macbeth books, and they are both going in the section. I like them. They were both easy, cozy mysteries. They were really short, but they were still enjoyable and they were still just fun. But yeah, so this is the tier ranking. If you guys want me to put this in the description, I can. Just let me know in the comments. That was the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're still watching, comment this emoji. And I do want to thank you all for being so supportive and just making 2022 a great year for me and for my whole YouTube channel. And I really hope I've helped some of you or comforted you or just entertained you. I appreciate you all, and it means a lot more to me than you think it does. And I hope you guys had a good New Year's, and I hope you guys have a good year to come. And thank you. I'll see you when I see you.